Welcome back, baseball family. So the only thing that matters right now is the playoffs. Let's be honest. Nobody cares about really anything else because the season is wrapping up here in a couple days, and we are getting the playoffs at the end of the week. And we'll get to that in just a minute, what we're going to do for the playoffs, because it's very exciting. But we're going to give you a quick update on what's going on with the playoffs, and then we'll let you get back to games and following scores and things like that, scoreboard watching as is appropriate. Real quick, make sure you tune in on Thursday. This is going to be 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. This is our weekly live, but this is going to be a very special live. It's going to be longer. It's going to be basically like our second full episode this week, and we're going to be doing our wonderful and fun playoff primer. For those of you who are new to the show,
playoff primer.
It is my favorite sound that we use on this entire show.
He waits all year. To do that. You tell him the story, Brad.
I try to use it as much as possible. So our first year, I said that we were doing the playoff primer, and as we're going into break, and Brig said that is not edited sound. The only thing that I edited was putting the angelic chorus under it. I didn't add any reverb or anything to Brig's voice. That is him just saying playoff primer because
warbling.
He was excited going into break. And so I was like, I told him we're going to use that for the rest of forever.
Man.
And I protested.
I'm still under protest.
It's fine. And for those of you watching on the YouTubes, you can see the fun little graphic that we put it with as well. But as a treat for you, our listeners, are going to be recording the big show live every Monday night as well. So we'll be going live on Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to be talking about playoffs and everything all through the playoffs. And then the other thing we're going to be doing is all through the playoffs, we'll be going live on Monday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern as well. So come and join us, have fun, talk playoff baseball, and I'm probably going to have games on while we're talking.
Total. Oh, yeah.
Because I have to.
For sure.
For sure. That's right. But like I said, it'll be a regular show. We'll be doing our current event section, everything like that, and we'll be giving you playoff updates as they're happening. And that will be live as usual Thursday and Monday, both on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So be sure to join us for the party for that. Now, playoffs.
Let's talk about it. Oh my.
So as of this moment, the field is set. Seeding is not necessarily set in stone yet, but the 12 teams are. So let's run down it real quick. In the American League, we've got the Astros, Yankees, Guardians are your division champions. And then you've got the Blue Jays, Mariners, and Rays. We'll get to those we'll get to the Mariners in just a little bit because that's kind of a big deal. And in the National League, you've got the Dodgers, Braves, and Cardinals. The Dodgers and Cardinals have their divisions wrapped up. And then the Mets, Padres, and Phillies. The Phillies clinched as we were talking during the first segment. Good for them. Congratulations. Another long playoff drought ended. So congratulations, Phillies fans.
Detroit is up, I think.
Detroit and Anaheim
Mm-hmm.
have the current longest playoff drought. Now,
that's right.
Let's talk about this just a little bit. So let's talk about the Mariners first. The drought is over.
It's over.
The monkey is off the back, and it was amazing. Cal Raleigh hit a walk-off home run off the Hit It Here Cafe in right field in the bottom of the ninth against the A's. And it was one of those things, Brig, off the bat. I was doing the Carlton Fisk. Stay fair. Just waving it. Come on. And sure enough, it was fair. And I was jumping up and down in my living room, and I was like, I didn't like cry like I thought I was going to. I did tear up, I'll be honest with you, because I was just so happy, right? Huge moment. And it's like, man, it couldn't have happened like in a bigger moment to a better guy, because Wilson and I have met Cal Raleigh, and he was really nice to Wilson. So I've been like pulling really hard for him.
Awesome.
So that's a cool thing, having a personal experience with him like that.
Totally.
Seattle went nuts. People were crying and hugging strangers, and I guarantee you there will be a baby boom in July.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm certain of it. So, and tune in later this week to the Seattle Baseball Together podcast, because Jewel was at the game.
Oh,
He
that's
was
right. He
there. He
was.
called me. He's like, just listen. And he held his phone out. And I got to listen to the crowd going nuts. It was awesome.
It's
It was
awesome.
super cool. So tune into that. He'll tell us firsthand what the whole thing was like, because that was an unreal experience. He was actually telling me earlier in the week, he's like, man, the Mariners could clinch this week. He's like, I'm gonna go on Saturday. I was like, oh, right on. And then it got closer. He's like, they could clinch on Friday. It's like, I gotta go both days. So he went both days. He went Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, that's
Pretty
awesome.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So firsthand stories coming from Jewel this week on the Seattle Baseball Together podcast. Check that out on Thursday morning is when that will be out, ready to go.
Awesome.
So I am so excited. That's why I'm wearing my Not Sexy shirt today.
Right. Yeah.
Padres, Brig, how do you feel about Slam Diego making the playoffs?
I think the scientific term is
You would honestly, like, with everything they've dealt with this year, you would think that they weren't going to at some points, right?
I'm like, yeah. The one hand, I'm like, what? And on the other hand, I'm like, of course. And then it's been back and forth all season long, and I don't know how to feel, and that's why I summed it up scientifically.
That was the perfect scientific explanation. It's so weird because they got Soto, and it's like, oh man, like I was even like, pencil him in, write it in, right?
You did.
Like, this is your World Series pick, but no,
and not even close.
Nowhere near.
Only barely, actually.
Yes, because they currently only have like a half a game on the Phillies as of this moment.
Right.
They could have a whole game if they win tonight. But yeah, no, I do not believe in the Phillies, or not the Phillies, the Padres, like, at all in the playoffs.
No, I'm worried for them.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for them all at the same time, right?
Right, because this is only their second. I didn't realize this is only their second playoff berth since 2006. The other one came in 2020 because they missed last year because the Giants had their big year.
Yeah, they're weird. Off on whatever we're calling it year.
One off? I don't know.
There you go. One off. Yeah, no, I'm like, so I'm thrilled for San Diego, but I'm confused and concerned at the same time, and I don't know. But this is one of those teams that this would be it, and they're excited and they're going to move through everything. You never know. But if history has shown anything, that San Diego plays LA tough, but then LA wins.
Right. Yeah.
So if it comes down to it.
And here's the other thing too, is that if playoff Soto shows up, that could be a big deal for the Padres.
Yeah.
Because playoff Soto is a different level, completely different animal.
He goes into a new gear.
Yeah.
And he knows how.
Even as a rookie, he knew how.
It's very obvious that there's a new level for him. So it's just going to be a matter of who they play in that wild card spot. That's it.
Right. As of today, because they have not clinched, they're not locked into the second wild card spot yet. But if the playoffs did start today, they would be playing the Mets, and that is some consolation prize for getting that fifth seed. Wow. I would not be wanting that fifth spot if I was San Diego or Philadelphia.
Nope.
Like, I would be resting my starter. If I was San Diego, I'd be resting my starters the last 2 days of the season to get a couple losses to drop down to the 6 and play the Cards.
Yep,
that's what I would want.
That's brilliant, because that's what I would want too.
But then
not because the Cards are a pushover.
Right, but it's not the Mets or the Braves. The Braves have been the best team since like June.
June or July.
They started winning in June.
Yeah, but they've been the best since July.
The best. Yeah.
It's
so
like
Jewel
undeniable.
actually said today Jewel told us today, over the last 100 games of the season that they've played, they were winning at a pace where if they had played the same pace over the last 100 games they played for an entire season, they would have won 114 games.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. That's amazing.
That's a dangerous team.
Oh,
they're playing they're continuing to play really well right now. They're peaking at just the right time. That I don't want to be hyperbolic or anything, but we could have a repeat champion, Brig.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Braves won it all. They got to go through the Dodgers. They got to go through the Astros. But I would not be surprised if it happened.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's kind of what you're looking at right now with the National League. Like this moment, the Phillies sit in the 6th spot because they're the last team to clinch, but that could easily be the Phillies or the Padres, and then you've got the Mets and the Braves. Let's talk about the Mets and the Braves for just a minute, Brig.
Yeah, let's, because I got something I want to talk about. It's pretty awesome. Go ahead.
Go ahead. So the Braves swept the Mets. Go ahead, Brig.
Yeah, but in the middle of that, William Contreras decides to come up to the plate and his walk-up song was Narcos against Edwin Diaz. And it was basically the greatest thing of all time.
Tugging on Superman's cape, for those of you not aware. That's what that was.
Literally tugging on Superman's cape. And he sat him down with 3 straight pitches. just like, no. Not in my house.
I love it.
It was funny. In Atlanta, and it was amazing. It was literally amazing.
So good. But so the Braves swept the Mets. This is the thing that's crazy to me. All the Mets had to do was win one game in that series. Like it's one of those things where it's like you just couldn't get swept. You just couldn't get swept. But then you got swept.
I know.
And now the Braves are up a game and a half on the Mets as of tonight, as of Monday night. Yeah. The Mets and the Nats got postponed till Tuesday. They got rained out.
Yeah.
So the Mets have 3 games to make up a game and a half. The Braves have 2 left.
I am so angry
that the Mets med.
They haven't. Stop it. Stop. They haven't done it yet.
They're in the process of doing it, though.
Stop it, Brad. I have been.
Did you see that? Did you see that graphic on Facebook today? It was. I think it was. Is it the baseballer?
Hexagon and the
hexagon, pentagon, and then had the Mets and it said division gone.
Division gone. Yeah, it was really funny. It was really funny. And you know what? Even if they lose the division, it's okay. I still think that they're tough. I mean, they're just tough.
They are tough, and they have a favorable road too.
They do, and I just
don't think they changes the bye.
I'm going to see what happens against LA if they end up without a bye.
Right.
Because that's who they stand to play if they end up without a bye. If they proceed past the wild card round, obviously. But
yeah, and honestly, I don't feel like the Braves or the Mets will lose in the wild card round. 3 games at home.
No, I don't think they'll lose. But then either one of them will end up playing LA.
The Dodgers, yeah. And that'll be tough. That'll be really
tough
on them.
No matter what.
Yeah. So here's the thing about this, Brig, though, these last couple of days of the season is that the Braves have the Marlins. They lost tonight. They lost on Monday to the Marlins. And that's why it's a game and a half lead is all going into Tuesday. The Mets have the Nats. So they both don't have a tough opponent.
No.
But it's a matter of beating them because these teams both want to play spoiler.
Yeah. And they're both of the winning teams are
got a lot of pressure.
Not only that, but they've got a lot of rest that they're not going to get. That they probably would like to spare a guy a day, and they can't do it.
Yep. There's that, and then also more rest is at stake too. Like you talked about.
That's what I'm saying, like big time. Like
I'm sure. Well, because I'm sure that there are guys in the bullpen they would love to rest because I'm sure that these bullpens are gassed. Like everybody's bullpen is gassed at this point. All the good teams, except for maybe the Dodgers because they beat everybody by a million. Yeah. But the Mets, the Braves, their bullpens are pretty much gassed. I'm sure that they would love to save their top dogs, but they're not going to be able to because they've got to win. So
fascinating.
It is fascinating, and you're seeing kind of the same thing in the American League too. The Blue Jays sit on the top spot, right?
Yeah.
In the wild card. I don't think they're going to give that up. They all but clinched that, but it comes down to the Mariners and the Rays.
Yeah, that's right.
It's almost like neither team wants to play Toronto. They're both
I don't blame them.
I wouldn't either.
Because Toronto's not just talented. Toronto's talented and ornery about it. Like they've got like a chip on their shoulder. If you look at Vlad Guerrero Jr., I feel like is the heart and soul of that team. And when he is up, they're up. When he's down, they're down. And they've got other guys that can come in and pick him up when he's down. But when nobody rides higher than him, I feel like he is the emotional heartbeat of the team. And he is so expressive. He's so emotional that you can see it, and it translates throughout the whole dugout. So we watch them play a lot, right? We play them a lot. So Vlad is he's gunning for the Yankees no matter what. Like, he wants them to lose, and he wants to be the one to beat them if he can. And so I think he'll make sure that they'll do everything they can to at least beat the Yankees or do better than the Yankees.
Here's the thing, too, though, is that I think out of all the teams in the American League, nobody matches up better against the Astros than the Blue Jays do. And I know we're getting ahead of ourselves here, kind of with a little bit of a playoff preview, but I would want the Blue Jays to play the Astros. That is the team that I would want them to play.
Yep.
The problem is that the Mariners at this moment have the Blue Jays in Toronto, and now the vaccine thing is not going to be an issue because that's gone. Thank goodness.
That's a big deal. Big deal.
That's a huge deal. Yeah. But Toronto is not the team. That's not the matchup I want. I definitely want Cleveland because of matchups.
Yeah, you'd want Cleveland.
Straight matchups. And it's nothing against Cleveland. It's like I said, it's all about easier. Matchups. Is that the Mariners batting order we've seen matches up really well against Cleveland, despite the fact that the Mariners won the season series against the Blue Jays.
Right.
I would still rather face that pitching staff because of matchups.
Yeah.
So, but we do know that it's not going to be Seattle and Tampa Bay.
No. Those are on opposite sides of the wild card right now.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So interesting couple days coming down to the wire here. Did we miss anything? Oh, the Dodgers.
Yeah.
The Dodgers, like we said, they're really good. They beat everybody by 1 million.
Yeah.
They continue to want to win all the games despite clinching home field through the National League and likely through the World Series too, because nobody else is going to win 110 games. So they'll have home field for the rest of the year, and it'll be fine. Last note here for the Dodgers is they are the first team in the National League to win 110 games since the Pirates did it in 1909, and Skippy McGee threw a floater for perfecto, Brig.
Whoa. You kidding me?
Perfecto. I don't know.
Oh, I was like, what? No.
It's another one of those things with the bridegrooms. It just sounded old-fashioned, so I threw it in there.
I was like, no way. I want video evidence of this 1909 game. That's awesome. Very well played.